Hi everybody, welcome to a mini episode of No Story is Sacred. If you've never listened before, we're four siblings who grew up talking about the art of storytelling. Now that we're adults, we're still talking about it and inviting you to join the conversation. I'm Pippin.
And I'm Brendan.
And we're just the two of us today.
Just the two of us. Do.
Because Alex and Kat had things to do.
Yeah, that's what we're going with, right?
Yeah. It's not that we were recording this late and, they had and we were the ones who had open plans on a Sunday night. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, we're cool.
Yeah, we're cool.
They just got blipped.
Yeah. Oh. So, today we're going to talk about the recent slate of Marvel television shows. And if we're honest, it's probably mostly going to be WandaVision.
Because at the time of this recording, it's the one that just recently finished, and we're only like 2 episodes in to Falcon and Winter Soldier. So, yeah, limited information so far with that show, but we'll probably go into it a little bit.
I mean, technically we're a fourth of the way into it.
But still, a fourth is a little.
A fourth is kind of a lot. It's a whole quarter of the show.
But it's not a third of the show.
But by the time we get to a third, we'll already be through half.
Whoa.
Ooh, wait, here's the thing. I did the math wrong originally. We are a third of the way through the show, because there's 6 episodes and 2 out of 6 is a third.
Well then.
Let's talk about WandaVision and ignore my terrible math. Oh, God.
But, I've been enjoying them so far. And I think that's pretty common for a lot of people out there, right?
I mean, there are people who are going to hate on them because they're Marvel in general, and there's legitimate criticisms to be had.
Of course.
My Tumblr dashboard is sometimes just the worst, because some of them have only just recently learned that Marvel can be military propaganda.
Whoa.
And I'm like, what are you, new?
Have you seen Western cinema in the last ever?
It's not just Marvel, dears. It's all of them.
Just wait until they start looking at Transformers a little bit deeper. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm like, you guys, I beg of you, take a literary criticism course. Just one.
Only one.
But yeah, I really liked WandaVision.
Yeah.
But it was also, I felt, directed right at me. It might as well have had like a little ribbon with a little tag saying, "To Pippin from Marvel."
Look at grief.
Hey Pippin, feeling alone and grieving loved ones? This show is for you.
And I think I was reflecting on this earlier, not even in relation to the podcast, although maybe just being a podcaster has this effect on the brain nowadays. But I was thinking that these shows are kind of coming up at a culturally good time for it. Because they were in pre-production even before the Backstreet Boys reunion tour started, right? So plans were already in place. But man, having a show talking about isolation and grief and suffering loss, and then now with Falcon and Winter Soldier talking about like power disparities and all this kind of like guilt almost.
Who gets resources?
Yeah. And it's like, talk about lining up things in a row in just the right way that, like, you know what? The message can actually resonate for a lot of people.
Wait, are you saying that fiction is a reflection of reality?
Weird, right?
I don't buy it.
Look, I don't want to talk, I don't want my fiction to be talking about politics or nothing.
My art isn't political. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, man. Flip some tables.
But yeah, like, of course, we focus, like, a lot on Wanda and grief and all that, in WandaVision. But, we also have, like, a lot of setting the stage for the next run of the story, really, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Wanda, I watched a lot of videos about Marvel and the cinematic universe and the comics and stuff while watching WandaVision. So this is how I know that Wanda is a nexus of reality. It all kind of pivots on her because she's sort of a stable point across realities.
Quote unquote stable.
Yeah, I was going to make the same joke. But she's sort of the same throughout. And, you know, she does a bit of time shit and reality warping shit. Wanda's power is that she can just make things be. She doesn't make the building fall on you. She makes it so the building was always going to fall on you.
Well, that's just rude.
If there was a structural thing wrong with the building that just wasn't technically there before, but now that she's thought of it, has always been there.
Or more directly in the story, how that Tony Stark missile just so happened to have a faulty triggering mechanism. Weird.
Yeah.
Always happened that way.
I still need to rewatch Age of Ultron in the wake of WandaVision.
Yeah. But one thing I can also appreciate in this film, TV series, I really liked the Vision versus Vision quote unquote fight, because it first starts off with just like the, you know, give the fans what they want, them punching each other, but it's shown to be kind of fruitless. It's like, no, they're equal. They can't really harm each other like that. And so it just becomes like nerdy philosophy debate.
What dorks. Listen, if Vision could have hit Vision with a could God create a boulder so big even he couldn't lift it question, he would have. But then that would have short-circuited his own brain, and you know what, didn't want to get into it. Let's just do some good old classic ship of Theseus.
Of course. I live for that shit, you know, like, let's not have protagonists duke each other out just with fists. Have them actually, you know, debate. Come on, debate me, coward.
Debate me!
And they did. And Magic Vision pretty much won that debate, although they both end up being Vision in the end. It gets confusing. But not that confusing. It's pretty straightforward.
They are both and neither Vision. It's weird.
Well, no, one becomes the true Vision at the end.
True, but...
Because he gets his...
It's the real Vision of Vision who's in love with Wanda.
Oh. I think the Memories Restored Vision is currently off figuring things out.
But memories also aren't feelings, and like,
It's true. It's true. But, you know, he has to figure stuff out. Dying changes you.
Dying makes a lot of things clear.
I'm sure he has to, like, figure out, like, did I come back wrong? Am I... Ooh.
Ooh. Here's the thing. The dead always come back wrong.
Aw. Wrong, not necessarily meaning evil in this case, perhaps just different.
Yeah, and off. It's why you don't raise the dead.
Not often, no. It's usually considered a mistake at worst, or...
Well, because even if you try to raise a loved one, the person who comes back is no longer going to be your loved one.
Aw. Whoa.
But another thing I appreciated about WandaVision is how it was pretty much about women. Sure, there were dudes around. You know, Hayward off being villainous and raising the dead, which is how you can tell he's a villain.
Yep.
But largely it was about Wanda's grief and Monica's grief.
And how they kind of empathize with each other.
Yeah, Monica's all like, you know what, Wanda? If I had your powers, girl, same.
Hashtag samesies.
And
now I kind of have superpowers, question mark? Awesome.
Nice. And there's Agatha, being
all along.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I've taught my robot assistant, who shall not be named right now because she'll hear me inactivate, but I've taught her to say robot. If I say robot who did this, she'll start playing Agatha all along.
Of course. Nerd.
Well, because it was Agatha all along.
In some ways, she was also kind of processing grief too, when you think about it. The grief of like betrayal from her mother and all that good stuff.
Yeah, she's got some backstory that I would love to, if they delve more into, because she's still a player on the board.
Yep. They wisely didn't actually take out any of the villains in this piece. Like, nobody's dead, I don't think. Right?
I don't think
I mean, except for Dream Vision.
Dream Vision, I don't want to dream alone. And she did it. And they held hands when,
Yep.
Oh, they've said goodbye before. It stands to reason they'll say hello again.
Oh. And of course, you get some... I think everybody just needs Vision in their lives, because you know what? The Vision and being classic, true to self, or true to character, as portrayed in MCU, is just like full of like, says good things. You know, the classic line, what is grief if not love persevering? Something
my therapist had legit told me like a week or two before that.
Yep. Hashtag true.
Which again, WandaVision was directed right at me.
But like, I think it's kind of like the ironic thing is that like you have Vision, who is a robot, being the most human person, or at least the most empathetic to humans.
Well, because it's the weird sort of thing where as an outside observer to it, he can see sort of all the different angles of it. So because he's still learning, he can sort of teach it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Oh yeah. He sees the fact that humans are prone to mistakes, but trying their level best. Aw. So, before we go too long for a minisode, do we want to talk about our thoughts so far on Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Yeah, sure. Again, 2 episodes in, 6-episode series. I'm going to admit that I'm probably more invested in WandaVision than Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
That's fair.
That's because I have always been more of a fantasy person than a science fiction person.
Oh, yeah.
And WandaVision was more fantasy, and Falcon and Winter Soldier is more science fiction. That being said,
I'm definitely invested in it, and I'm curious to see where it goes. It's kind of like, to me, it's like a story about, like, you know, actually having Sam have the confidence to take up the mantle, as it were, and about, like, what it means to be a symbol, all that stuff.
And also, racism.
Yup.
Acknowledging its existence in the Marvel Cinematic Universe at the very least. And one assumes all of our universes.
Also dealing with PTSD. Poor Bucky.
Yes. Bucky's whole thing.
Yeah.
And actually showing scenes of therapy. So somebody's in the MCU is getting therapy. They all should.
Although I'm kind of wondering about how good a therapist that is, because she's very confrontational.
Here's the thing. For some people, they need that in therapy.
Fair.
I'm sure there was a lot of, finding the groove, and then she, recognized that he responds well to people being little shits to him. And she was like, all right.
This is how we'll play it.
That being said, I do think that we're going to see her fight someone by the end of the series. And I'm hoping we see her fight John Walker.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. Yeah, I think one thing we're going to see in that is we're going to see John Walker there, Fate Captain. I think we're going to see him kind of reflect how you can take your responses to trauma and go down dark paths? ? Because like Bucky is trying his level best and dealing with pain and all that, but like I'm thinking that Fate Cap here is gonna screw up bad.
Here's what I'm thinking. A lot of people on the internet think that John Walker is already enhanced with some version of super soldier serum, because there's a line about how his body's been studied by MIT and it tested off the charts on all fields. I think he hasn't. He's just naturally whatever. But I think by the end of the series, he is going to take super soldier serum.
Is he gonna go all roid rage, take too much, that kind of thing?
Not even necessarily too much, But remember, the thing that makes Steve Steve is not that he is a good soldier, but he is a good man. And John Walker is a good soldier.
I like that. But Sam is the good man.
Sam is a good man. But I think that Sam is not going to take the Captain America name from Steve. He's going to take it from Isaiah.
Oh.
And it's Isaiah's legacy that he's going to pick up. That's what I think.
Do you think Sam's gonna get all super soldiery by the end?
I don't think so. Because that's not really his
thing. I could see it happening, but like in one of those like do or die kind of moments, you know?
Yeah.
Again, kind of being an echo of Steve's story, where it's like, you know, just it's part of the response or something. I don't know. I'm just completely rambling now, but like I could just imagine like just some set of circumstances, like, you know, the wings are taken out and there's just the shield on the ground, but like he can't like toss it with like Mach 1 strength and speed.
I mean, here's the thing. Not to go with well, oh no. Because we've seen in the promo footage him throwing the shield around.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, you know, he's throwing it around, so it might be he gets it and then fights with it later. But actually, those scenes might have been the ending.
They might
of
be.
the series.
Yeah. Marvel does... They trick you with trailers. Tricky trailers. That's just... My guess is that it's going to be like one of those, like, everything is hanging on the line and Sam almost like reluctantly, maybe even like unconscious or something. I don't know. That'd be kind of weird. But that's the vibe I'm kind of getting, just because we have this super soldier serum as a MacGuffin. I'm also imagining that the Flag Smashers are gonna do that classic heel face turn, because they're like clearly trying to paint them in a little bit more empathetic light.
I mean, it's one of those things where on paper you go like, yeah, I see it.
And there's also an extra force at play. They're like, I think I saw some internet videos talk about Power Broker and all that. So
yeah,
we'll
Power
see.
Broker's a thing,
and they're clearly on the run from said Power Broker.
But yeah, I look forward to the rest of Falcon the Winter Soldier, and I look forward to the next two. Well, I look forward to that's more than two. All of Marvel's future TV products. Loki is next.
Well, because it's curious to see that they're focusing on more like small scale character driven stories.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't need to have like constant raising of the stakes where like, oh, the world's gonna blow up again this week. It's like, nah, just this one character's personal world.
I mean, technically WandaVision was a very personal story.
Mm-hmm.
It's just when Wanda's having personal grief, it affects everyone around her.
Yep.
And let me tell you, sometimes when you grieve, you kind of want it to affect everyone around you. Because it feels weird when it's just in your head. But yeah, Loki is next. Look forward to that. Time travel's involved.
Quantum Leap, but with Asgardians.
What? And there's still a part of me that's a Loki fangirl all the way back from 2012. There's a little part of me that every time Loki's on screen, I'm like, hi.
You misunderstood.
After that is going to be the cartoon What If. That I'm looking forward to, because that just looks like fun.
That's just the writers going like, can we not deal with canon now? Awesome. Let's play.
Listen, it looks like they're going to give me thick Peggy Carter and skinny Steve, and I'm like, fuck yeah. Yeah, and it's going to have the last MCU performance by Chadwick Boseman. So I'm probably also gonna cry.
Aw. But you know, it's something to look forward to. So,
I mean, it looks like the sort of thing where it looks like fun is what it looks like.
Yeah. And that's the important thing with any of these properties. Just go in looking to have fun with it. Like, we're not aiming to have masterpiece theater or anything like that. Although, for TV, it's good TV.
Oh, yeah. If Catherine Hahn doesn't get at least an Emmy nomination, I riot. Same for Elizabeth Olsen, for that matter. Emmys for everyone.
You get an Emmy, and you get an Emmy. Everybody gets an Emmy.
But yeah, I've enjoyed what we've seen so far. I look forward to the future, because if nothing else, these are some of the most competent creators on the planet right now. Marvel can afford good shit.
Who would have expected that this would be the turn of events? Like, remember, like, 7-8 years ago when we were all talking about Game of Thrones and all that, and how that landed in the most epic of belly flops at the end there?
Still haven't watched the last season.
You're not missing much.
I did get the Sansa Stark Queen of the North pop figure, though, because that's all I need. Sansa Stark is Queen of the North. I don't need to know anything else that happened.
They kind of forget about a lot of stuff.
Unsurprising, but Sansa Stark, Queen of the North. But no, Marvel.
Yeah,
but no, concerning when we talked about Batman and Robin, and they made the obvious Marvel references, which you could not get away with today because Marvel is too powerful.
Yeah, oh god. Them trying to do it nowadays. Good luck.
Excuse you, mentioning Super Soldier Serum? Excuse you? Excuse you. Excuse you.
Kevin Feige has entered the chat. Oh.
All
right.
But yeah, no. Enjoyed so far. Look forward to the future.
Same. All right. So on that note, as always, if you have a story to submit, head on over to nostoryissacred.com/submission. Follow us on Twitter at nostoryissacred, or send an email through contact@nostoryissacred.com. Your hosts have been Brendan McDonald and Pippin McDonald. Editing for this episode done by Brendan. Transcript done by Ashley DaCosta. Art by Jay Wolf. Show notes and transcript are available at nostoryissacred.com. Thanks for listening, everyone, and please rate, review, and subscribe to No Story is Sacred. You can also visit our Patreon page to support the show and get neat rewards at patreon.com/nostoryissacred. Until next time, we're No Story is Sacred, and any story can be changed. I'm Brendan.
I'm Pippin.
And we're No Story is Sacred.